In today's lesson, we're going to look at digital and print resources for the same topic. Today I'm going to teach you that not only can we find informational text in print, but we can also use digital resources as well to find out more information on our topic. Yesterday we talked about that if we were to become informational writers, we must read and notice informational text. And we did this by looking at the printed text, Everything Weather by Kathy Fergang. Today we're going to be looking at an online resource, a TrueFlix book called Extreme Weather. In Extreme Weather, there's a 1-minute clip introducing us to the book, much like an introduction in a printed text. So we could watch this video and it would tell us more about the book.
Is it true that the storm surge during 2005's Hurricane Katrina rose to up to 30 feet high? Yes, the Gulf of Mexico waters, pushed by winds of 140 miles per hour, overwhelmed levees built to protect the low-lying city of New Orleans. The city was devastated. In the flooding and chaos that followed, nearly 2,000 people died. 7 years later, in 2012, Hurricane Sandy brought death and destruction from the Bahamas to New England. Many scientists think that the greater frequency of extreme storms, such as Katrina and Sandy, can be traced to global warming and climate change. Researchers are now investigating how global warming and its effect on ocean temperatures could be spawning all sorts of extreme weather events, from intense thunderstorms and violent tornadoes to blistering heat waves and howling blizzards. To find out more about extreme weather, read the book.
So now we're going to look at the book. So as I'm looking at extreme weather, I can see that there's a picture that says how long, hard, and far a wind blows affects the size of ocean waves. As I opened the text and began to look through it, I see that there's a table of contents. Just like there's a table of contents in Everything Weather. So I see Chapter 1 is Out of a Thunderstorm, Chapter 2, Windy and Wet, Chapter 3, Heat Waves, Droughts, and Wildfires, Chapter 4, Wild Wintry Weather, and Chapter 5, Extreme Weather and Global Warming. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Chapter 1. And as I'm looking at Chapter 1, I'm going to be thinking, what is this chapter going to be about? And also, what's the author's purpose for writing this? It says out of a thunderstorm, and I can see that about 1% of the thunderstorms in the United States produce tornadoes. So this picture is of a tornado. I also see up here in this picture that says most tornadoes last a few minutes. Extremely violent ones can last more than an hour. There's another picture down here that talks about in March of 1925, a tornado left many buildings in ruins. Okay, this says, why are tornadoes so deadly? And over here are some hailstones. And then we can see some damage caused by the hailstones in this picture, and even deadly hailstorms. And then we see that lightning flashes in the cloud of an ash erupting from this volcano. So in Chapter 1, I'm thinking that mostly this chapter is going to be about tornadoes and how deadly and damaging they can be. And I'm thinking that the author's purpose of writing this is to inform us of what can happen as a result of a thunderstorm. So now it's your turn. I'm going to flip to Chapter 2, and I want you to preview the text. And as you're previewing the text, I want you to be thinking about what is this chapter going to be about, and what's the author's purpose in writing it. Okay, so as I go back to the beginning of Chapter 2, I want you to make a prediction about what you think this is going to be about, and I want you to go ahead and turn and talk to your partner about this section of the text. So I want you to know that there can be multiple texts about the same topic, and as we read, I want you to know that we can read as much as we can about a topic so we can become an expert on it from multiple resources such as print and digital. So remember that when you're reading an informational text, we're going to gather multiple resources on the same topic. So today, as you go off, I want you to think about the topic that you were looking at yesterday, and I want you to find an ebook on that topic today. And I want you to take notes in your writing journal, and then I want you to come back to the carpet today to share out with your partner about predictions you made about what the chapter is going to be about and how that information is related to the print text you looked at yesterday. Now that you've had a chance to look at an ebook on the topic you had yesterday, I want you to go ahead and talk to your partner about some of the information you learned in your ebook and how it relates to what you learned yesterday from your printed text.